Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is a brisk morning in the 20s. Sun's just starting to peek up there, so gonna be a fairly chilly day. I think it'll warm up some. I mean, it's a beautifully clear day, so once the sun gets up, it'll warm up. All kinds of stuff going on. So Alex Jones is back on Twitter and kind of trending, I guess, for the last few days. He was interviewed by Elon Musk. I'm sorry. He was interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and then he came back onto Twitter and ended up interviewing Elon Musk. That's it. And so he's all kind of buzz about Alex Jones, and I get it. Some of you love him, some of you can't stand him, thinks he's controlled opposition, and I don't really know. Biden administration says that they are releasing 5,000, and I'm sure this number is very much on the low side, but whatever, 5,000 illegals into the country a day. So they're coming across the border, 10 to 12,000 a day, processing them, and then turning around and releasing 5,000 a day. I don't think that that's a true number, because what are they doing with the other 5,000 to 7,000? They can't just house them forever. So there's probably a lot more, but point is a lot of people are being released into the country. And if you read that 5,000, they're just releasing them. They're giving them Visa debit cards, cell phones, plane tickets, train tickets, whatever, and they're just released into the country on their own. And then Israel has given Hezbollah and Lebanon 48 hours to vacate the border and to cease hostilities against Israel, or they will go to town on them, basically, and push them back. And that was given about 24 hours ago. And it looks like Israel's pretty serious on this, so we could see another expansion. Of course, Iran has said if that happens, then they will more likely get involved. So we'll see what happens there. And then the real buzz that's all over the internet right now is this new movie that I talked about, I believe, yesterday. This movie that was produced by Barack and Michelle, or Barry and Mike Obama. And it's a, apocalyptic movie. Basically, there's this, I won't go into all the details, this big cyber attack takes out some of, or most of the grid. All kinds of bad things happen, including nuclear bombs and, on and on and on. The point is that the questions are rising up that, is this kind of some type of predictive movie? Because there's a lot of little dots starting to be connected. I don't watch him often, and I know some of you love him and some of you hate him, but Canadian Prepper did a video last night, and I watched it, on this movie, and he had a pretty good analysis. I know he gets a little doom and gloom and clickbait, but he is known for giving a pretty good analysis of something. And he points out that there's tons of symbolism in this movie. In the very opening scene of the movie, there's a 666. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But what's interesting is the movie is about, again, this big cyber attack that, basically causes the country to just fall apart. And we've got the World Economic Forum. They're scheduled to meet here in about a month. And about a year ago or so, they came out with this, it's part of their Great Reset campaign, talking about cyber polygon. And there's videos and speeches and stuff about it, warning that there's something even greater than a health pandemic that's coming at us, and that is a worldwide cyber attack. That the cyber warfare is going to get pretty big, and they predict that this will happen before 2025. Now, we're really just days away from 2024, and if it's supposed to happen before 2025, then that means we've got about 12 months before something like that happens. And so I think a lot of people are wondering, is this just done for entertainment? Are they trolling us? Are they mocking us? Or are they letting us know what's headed our way? And I'm sure that, or I would guess, that a lot of you are going to choose the latter. Because that's what they do often, is they, release these films and stuff, and they kind of let us know what's going on and what their plans are. And if this is true, it's a pretty big deal. Canadian Prepper points it out pretty well, and it's also showcased in the movie of how really so much of everything is connected to the cyber networks. And if that is taken out, if there is some big attack, it's going to be absolutely catastrophic for us. And one thing I did agree with, and I don't always agree with him, so don't think that, but I did agree with Canadian Prepper last night in his video when he said something to the effect that a cyber attack could actually be worse than something like an EMP or a nuclear attack, because with those, there's a definite start. There's no question, the grid just completely goes down, or nukes go off, or whatever it is, and whether you're prepared or not, it's happened, right? You know that it's happened and it's on. Whereas a cyber attack most likely isn't going to be the flipping of a switch and everything goes down. It would be most likely a progressive, maybe even just over a few days, but still progressive in how it affects things, which is what's shown in the movie. And because of that progression, for a lot of people, including us, it's going to be difficult to know if this is the real deal. People are going to set back and say, well, cell phones aren't working today. It could be something else. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's a big cyber attack and the whole cellular network's gone down. Oh, the internet's not working today. Well, that happens sometimes, Sometimes your internet, your Wi-Fi or whatever goes down for an hour or two or a few hours, so it'll come back up. The TVs, the satellite's not working. Oh, it'll fix itself shortly. They're just having a power outage or something. And so it causes people to kind of sit there and do nothing for a while, maybe days, because it's not sure. There's no definite line that, okay, something big and bad has happened. And basically, that means that it could be even worse, because so many people are just going to, including us, could just sit around and say, well, now's not the time to jump to conclusions. Doesn't necessarily mean something bad has happened. We'll just give it some time, sleep on it. Probably by tomorrow morning, it'll be all better. And then it's progressively getting worse. Because in the movie, it's not just a cyber attack. It's a series of other events. The cyber attack just starts it. It's just the kickoff. And by the time they realize that things are really bad and that it's on, well, it's too late to really prepare then. Everything's already gone crazy. Now, could we be seeing something like that in the near future, within the next 12 months? Well, I think it's possible, and I think most of us have wondered that for a long time. Is that going to be the big thing? So much of our world is so connected to the internet, or utility services, health services, police, fire, hospitals, stores, logistics, trucking, electrical grid, water sources, everything is very much connected to the internet. And if that goes down, and if computers get hacked, your money, your banks, your healthcare, everything, grocery stores, it all shuts down. Electricity, water source, clean water, sewage water backs up into clean water because the sewer systems don't work and they're not able to clean the water. It's a cascading effect, and it could be very, very devastating. And I think the reason, again, why this movie is so prominent right now is because, well, strangely enough, again, as I repeat myself, it was produced and partly written, I believe, by the Obamas, which is strange, right? All those people that we all just love, right? And that it's getting ready to happen with the World Economic Forum meeting in Davos in a few weeks. And just a year or so ago, they were warning of this very event. Go look it up, Cyber Polygon, World Economic Forum. They were warning about it, and they were warning that it would be way more devastating than the pandemic. And so I think you should start really preparing. I'm not saying it will happen, just saying it's becoming much more likely. And this is a different one because it could very much knock us back to the Stone Age. And like I said, and I don't remember a recent video, the amount of people that are so unprepared for this kind of thing, especially mentally. In the movie, it showcases that, and we've seen that in other studies, that people just aren't prepared for that. They just can't imagine that the lights don't work when you flip the switch, or that the grocery store isn't there when you go to purchase your groceries, or that they can't get their internet, when they're trying to figure out how to do something. What? My phone doesn't work. And it throws people off, and it makes people crazy and panic. And that's where you have your kind of zombie apocalypse. So, yeah, you should probably really get ready for this, folks. Because it is, well, it's a strange coincidence. You have to admit that they've released this just before the World Economic Forum meeting, and a year or so after the World Economic Forum was saying that by 2025, which is a year from now, that the world will be hit by a massive cyber attack. Too many coincidences for me. Folks, you need to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.